Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut. So we need to go confront Seraph. I went and sold everything, and then I went back to the that little room cached by the helipad, and collected those again. We have two mission tins here. One says it's 30. It's at different locations. So we'll try and get the one that's closest. One is 75 feet upwards, and one is at this elevator. Interesting. So the elevator gets me 75 feet upwards. So both of them go the same direction. It turns out that putting a laser scope on something does not increase the value of the weapon, so that was a huge waste of money. I'm at 51,000 credits, so hardly didn't have a problem. I found a beer in the lunchroom. We've got some more ammo. If I could, there's definitely a thought that you would want to eventually have more than just maybe two weapons in your inventory. That would be something that would be nice if a New Game Plus threw this all out the window and you didn't have to do that. I oversold my tranquilizer thing, so I only have like one tranquilizer dart right now, and conspicuously at 9 and 9 stop worms and nuke viruses. Only one EMP, one auto hack. You can only have 3 of the Cyber Boost Pro energy bars, and you can only have 5 of the Typhoon thing, which by the way we still haven't even gotten the Typhoon ability. It's not something we can just unlock, I don't believe. Oh, yes it is. So if I ever want to unlock that, that would be an important thing to do. We need one more hacking skill. We want to get these add-ons eventually. We can punch through walls now, but we need this to be able to see the enemies on the other side. The Icarus landing system is something we eventually want to get. Cloaking system maybe. Cybernetic legs so they are quieter. And then, let's see. Jump and land silently. Interesting. Still no pick up or put down things. We also want to increase our recharge and get some more energy bars, like one more. So there's still quite a few upgrades we still have to spend here. We're nowhere near being done. So Seraph apparently put in a back door, and we need to confront him about it.
Excuse me.
Mr. Jensen, isn't it?
Sir, you have that charity dinner?
In a moment, Isaiah. I was hoping I might run into you, Mr. Jensen. Bill Taggart.
The founder of the Humanity Front. I know who you are.
Yes. Yes, I imagine you do. As David Sarah's top security man, I imagine you have quite the file on me. But I assure you, Mr. Jensen, I am devastated by recent events.
Really?
I do not support what you and your company are doing to mankind. I believe it's extremely dangerous. But abolishing human enhancement technologies will only be achieved through legal means.
I'll keep that in mind.
This is your first day back since the accident 6 months ago.
It's still only been
isn't
one
it?
day.
Sir, we have to go.
What happened to me was no accident.
Ah, my mistake. But it must have been stressful facing down a second incident so soon. I imagine it brought back all kinds of unpleasant memories.
Let's see, do we confront or do we stay cool? Let's just stay cool.
I appreciate your concern, Mr. Taggart, but it was nothing I couldn't handle.
I'm a psychologist, Mr. Jensen. I know when a man is hiding behind words. The flesh may heal, but the mind is not always so resilient. You might want to keep that in mind. Now, if you'll be so kind as to excuse me.
Let's see. Challenge him. Not just yet. You got balls coming up here. What makes you think you'll be welcome? Gladly.
I'm curious about something, Mr. Taggart. What is it you hope to accomplish by coming here tonight?
I would think that would be obvious. Your company has been viciously targeted. The violence and bloodshed that's occurred, it must be stopped. But I'm afraid it won't be until men of wisdom and understanding come to an agreement.
About what?
About the future, Mr. Jensen. This enhancement technology threatens to change the course of human evolution, to redefine what it even means to be human. You think governments can afford to let that go unregulated?
You can't stop progress, Mr. Taggart.
Perhaps not. But neither can we afford to sit by and watch it happen on its own. Not when we have the ability, the collective will, and foresight to influence it.
I see. Thank you for illuminating me.
Anytime.
Illuminating me. Is he part of the Illuminati?
I'm glad we had a chance to talk, Mr. Jensen. Meeting you has been very informative.
So these two are bodyguards. This guy is Isaiah
You're
Sandoval.
Taggart's aide, aren't you? Dr. Isaiah Sandoval, isn't it?
No need to play ignorant, Mr. Jensen. I am quite sure you have a file on me that's as thick as the one you have on Mr. Taggart.
You're an outspoken activist in your own right, Dr. Sandoval.
When you have seen the things that I have, you find you have no choice but to stand up and be counted. Frankly, I am surprised an ex-cop like yourself isn't more disturbed by the dangers of this technology.
Augmentations help a lot of people, Doc. Handicapped, war vets.
Yes, but at what cost? My own friend had his life ruined by these so-called enhancements of yours. A man much like you who had no choice but to become augmented. Yet once he was, too much power can make you do terrible things, Mr. Jensen. I suggest you think long and hard on that.
I'd like to hear more about your friend, Dr. Sandoval. What exactly did he do?
Nothing.
Was he injured in the Gulf?
He went on a rampage in a shopping mall, if you must know, hoping to be gunned down by the police, rather than face a lifetime battling augmentation addiction.
He was addicted to augments?
They don't talk about it in those corporate brochures of yours, do they? Neuroposine dependency, rejection psychosis, any number of physical and psychological ills have resulted from this technology, and yet we rarely hear a word about them.
I'm sure the literature is out there.
No thanks to the throng of corporate lawyers attempting to stop it.
Your friend, did he succeed? Did he suicide by cop?
No. Bill Taggart talked him down.
Interesting.
You will think on what I said, won't you?
Nothing in the bathroom. Still. You know, I love a game that gives me options. So, let's take one of these options. Oh, come on. Trying to do a non-lethal takedown right now on all these guys. It's not letting me. I can't pull out my gun. I can't shoot them. I can't throw grenades. Oh, that sucks. It pretended like you could do it to anybody, but that would have been really cool if you could have knocked those guys out.
Athena, you've been at this company a long time.
I hope that's not a comment about my age, Adam.
No. But I know nothing gets by you. If Sarif had done something that could compromise us.
Mr. Sarif has only the best interests of this company in mind, Adam.
I'm not questioning that.
Aren't you? I've been here since the beginning. I've seen how he built this up from nothing. He cares for his
Talk to the
people. He
secretary.
truly believes what we're doing is important, and he would never do anything to jeopardize it.
I shouldn't have brought it up.
No, you shouldn't have. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy.
Well, she certainly has some faith in him. I would pin it on Pritchard. Go, yeah, Pritchard put the security hole in there. And we're back to the picture. And who is this guy supposed to be? It's probably supposed to be him. That's a big TV. That's the kind of TV you want. And we never get to see the sunlight because of the smog. That sucks. I want to see at least one environment in Deus Ex where it's sunny and bright. Well, probably maybe more than one. Just talk to him.
Boss, we need to talk.
Is something wrong?
I'm not sure.
I now
Did
have
you set up a private access route to bypass the company firewall right before you hired me?
What?
Pritchard said someone's been using it to access our system since before the first attack. The security measures he and I set in place never stopped them because we didn't even know the loophole existed.
Oh, I see. Frank's fixed that, though, right?
He has now. But he's wondering why you never mentioned it.
Frank's paranoid, Adam. You know that. Can a busy man forget things once in a while?
You streamed an awful lot of data through that portal, boss. Right before you brought me on board. Pritchard may be paranoid, but I gotta admit, I'm wondering what was in it too.
How's this alpha, beta, and
as an
omega work?
ex-cop, I guess you would. But the important thing is you found the
Just
hole
trying
and
to
plugged
change
it.
the subject.
We're secure now. And the information you uncovered in that FEMA facility may actually help us track these guys. So let's just stay focused on what's important.
Okay. So we've got a new conversation thing here, and I think alpha, beta, and omega might refocus. So has a tendency to shift the blame onto others, but will back down rapidly if resistance is felt. Is not afraid to use his authority to get what he's liked. Well, sometimes.
Adam, are we done here?
Sorry. With all respect, you're hiring me to keep this plate. If you're not 100% straight with me. So let's refocus.
I want to, believe me. I want to catch these guys as badly as you do. But that breach is responsible for every security crisis we've had, including today's. If you want me to stop these guys, I need to know what kind of data they've had access to.
You're right, you're right. I'm sorry if I seem evasive. The truth is, I've had a lot of other things on my mind.
So the persuasion
I'm trying to
level
secure
went
a
up a
future
little
here
bit,
for
but
all of
if you don't
mankind.
pay attention to it, you
I can't
won't
let trivial
recognize
security
it.
concerns get in the way when people like Bill Taggart want to see me fail. No, you're my best warrior, Adam, and I trust you. I know the loyalty you've shown me will only continue as we take this fight into the future, because that's what's really important, isn't it? The
Just
future.
trying to BS his way out of this. Let's see.
Boss, I think we're getting sidetracked here.
Refocus.
If you want me to win this war for you, I need to know how badly we've been compromised. I need to know what was in that data stream, in case our enemies accessed it.
You think they could have? I see your point, son. That might be bad. Your concerns about the data being compromised won't really be an issue as long as we stay strong and work together as a
His
team.
persuasion levels at
That's
the
all I've
maximum.
ever tried to do here. Find the best, most qualified
Quit
people I
changing
can
the subject and just
bring them all
talk.
together so they can complement each other. Now, Megan understood that. That's why she suggested I hire you in the first place. To help this little family of ours survive.
Alright. Just keep focusing him. Or let's activate the pheromones now. Let's see. Left bump, activate them. For betas, alphas, and omegas. So we know he's not an omega. We know he's an alpha type.
Boss, I really don't understand why you're giving me the runaround. When you hired me, I said I'd give you the best I could, but I can't protect us if you keep hamstringing my every move. If you won't level with me and tell me what it is you're hiding, then I'm out of here. I quit.
Adam, wait. You can't leave us. We need you. Now more than ever. All right. Look, the truth is, I set up a confidential data channel for a private investigator, someone who can run covert background checks on people, potential new recruits, like you.
You what?
I had to, Adam. You were a liability, remember? You'd just been fired from SWAT. Now, Megan believed in you, but I had to be sure. Look, I don't want this to come between us. I'll send the files to your computer. You can see for yourself what he dug up. But Adam, you'd better be sure.
Why? What do you mean?
I mean, sometimes the past should stay in the past. Once you see that data, you can't unring the bell. When you're ready, come back and talk to me. We need to discuss our next move.
So, Silver Tongue 1,000 experience for getting him to actually talk. Let's see.
Sorry, Adam, I can't help you right now. I'm trying to deal with it.
I was gonna tell her I told you so. So, the whole conversation minigame, pretty cool. It definitely adds something to these few major conversations that happen in the game. And I honestly think it should have been unlocked by default. I don't see the point of it being its own thing. In fact, a lot of these things don't feel like they should be their own thing. Maybe that's in part because we did not start with the traditional video game power preview that usually happens. Usually you start with all of your abilities unlocked and you play with them for a while and then you lose them. This time we really didn't do that. Alright, let's see. I had a friend in Geneva who ran labs of records, so you asked us the subject. Mother, father, Arthur Jensen's child, Adam Jensen. He was born in '93. Question mark, genetic system. Genetic system testing. Run test of your records. Does the subject know neither of his parents are his birth parents? The surprise made the mother was sterile according to old medical records I did up, but his dad carries no common phenotypes either. Oh, so I am... Ooh, my parents aren't my parents? That sucks. Some of Marcus's, through which the medical files. For 8-year period, Arthur relied as a place at White Helix Labs. Here's the thing, 1 minute Adam doesn't exist, and the next minute Jensen's have themselves a bouncing, healthy 5-year-old. I sniffed around. Oh, so some kind of company genetically engineered me. Psych eval for SWAT. I couldn't copy it, at least not yet. I'll be honest with it. Here's the thing. You said you wanted to read between the lines, so here it is. The evaluation reads like fiction. I'm thinking a pissed off supervisor wanted Jensen off the force and had the evaluation worded to read just like just cause. But most of the rank and file I spoke to respected and liked Jensen. I thought it was a real straight shooter, even though the SWAT incident soured his reputation a little. New access codes too. How? Alright, well, that's some new information. No real surprise there. One thing I wanted to point out here is I went through all of these in all the different locations, and then I looked at all the ebooks in all the different locations and marked them all as red.
Athena tells me you spoke to Sareth. Did he happen to tell you why he made us look like idiots?
I'm handling it.
You can imagine how relieved I am to hear that. I'll tell you what. While you follow any lead Sarif spoon-feeds you, I'm going to do what I should have done in the first place and backtrace that signal.
That's your pride talking. Still, get back to me if you find something.
You meant when?
Pretty sure I didn't.
Pretty sure I didn't mean when. Alright. So, I've been genetically engineered. People right about now should probably be figuring out some of what the story is going on here. If you don't want to hear spoilers, just, I guess, skip forward for 30 seconds. It's starting to show that he was genetically engineered, and the reason he's genetically engineered is to not reject augments, and that's why he doesn't have to take the Norazepine. Anybody that skipped forward can come back now. I don't know if I should do spoilers in general in games, but most people will be getting the idea of what the backstory is. And there is some really heavy backstory, a lot more if we were actually reading the dialogue. That's the one thing of people that watch my series, they're just never going to really experience the full dialogue. It just can't happen that way. This is interesting. I think they over 3D modeled this city just to have these nice views. I mean, it's not that hard to say, okay, we're gonna put a rectangular building here, but yeah, most games wouldn't have done that. It's interesting.
Here, this is for you. It's a corporate passport encoded with your biometrics. I've set up a false flag routing which should get you to Henshaw Island without any problems.
You're sending me to China? What about FEMA?
FEMA's got nothing to do with this, trust me. We'll have better luck in China.
How can you say that? I saw the bastard who killed Megan pulling his men out of that facility. I left one of those men dead in its underground storage bay.
I know that, Adam. Frank was monitoring the whole thing. So I also know that before he died, that man gave you an address in China. I want you to check it out.
That doesn't make any sense.
Look, Adam. There's a reason this company's under attack. You think it has to do with the Typhoon or with some other top-secret military project that I haven't told you about?
The thought had crossed my mind.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. The work Megan's team was doing before they were killed, it was redefining what it means to be human. This company, Seraph Industries, was about to lead mankind to its next stage in human development. Self-controlled evolution. Can't you see how scary that can be to some people?
Sure. I also see how lucrative it can be for some others.
It's never been about money for me, Adam. But you're right. There are people out there who don't exactly feel the same.
Like who?
I'm hoping you'll be able to find that answer for us in China. So get going. Farida's prepping the chopper.
Getting things done. Can't take that elevator because that elevator leads to the very first level. So we have in our inventory a little bit of stuff, but not a lot. We don't have any praxis kits. I seriously doubt if I went to the limb clinic I would be able to buy any. And I don't think there's really anything more to do in Detroit. If we ever do come back to Detroit, which we might, I don't remember, there wouldn't be a lot to do, but maybe all the gangbangers and people will revive and I'll have an opportunity to do some non-lethal takedowns on them. Anyways, not that that really helps anything, it's just a tiny amount of experience that's not getting us anywhere. We need 1,325 more. So what would be nice is if she talked to us and gave us the option to go back to the facility we were just at or some other places.
Hey, Jensen. The boss said you were on your way. You're gonna love Hangsha.
You've been there?
Used to live there. I spent 3, maybe 4 years working in the upper city, and most of my nights having fun in the lower one. You ready to go?
So, upper city and lower city, China has like a 2-tiered system that we're gonna see. We're gonna end up in the lower city to start off with, I believe, and then eventually make it to the upper city, where we might be actually able to see the sun. Says any unfinished side quests would be canceled if you leave. That's fine. I think we missed one.
I thought I was. How long is this gonna take, Malik?
You mean the flight or the fun afterward? Don't worry, we'll be there before you know it. Climb in.
I think I missed a side quest in Detroit, but I think I missed it long, long ago. Now that we're going to China, we're going to try to do things a little bit better. Hopefully. This is Act 2, I suppose. We finished Act 1. Which really goes to point out that these should have been hour-long episodes.
Jensen, you might want to get ready. The jewel of the Yangtze approacheth.
Son of a bitch. I'm supposed to find answers in that.
Hey, twice the scum and half the space. Hang on, we're going in. The address you got off that Merc, Hangsha Court Gardens. It's a bit of a walk from here in the Yuzhou district, but I figured it might be best not to drop you too close.
In case Barrett only gave up the address, knowing I'd walk into another trap.
It's the kind of thing I'd do to an enemy. You want my advice? Just find out who lives there and get out.
Alright. So, the Undercity. I remember it being even darker than this. Now this area is not just ridiculously huge, even though they are certainly implying that it's gonna be huge. Let's see, the Honghu Hotel, the Hive. Let's see, Allison Gardens, Pods, yep. The whole Yangtze district is a whole different section. Let's see. Seems to be just a few more things. A limb clinic. I kind of want to go run straight to the limb clinic if I can, because that might get me some praxis points. If I could just go buy an unlimited amount. It seems like there's nothing really there. And then at our -2, let's see, I can't even find what is at -2. Let's see. There we go. Looks like probably some sewers. So this is the lower district. It's gonna have definitely a different style. It's gonna definitely be China in many ways. And we're gonna start dealing with it next recording. That's right, we're done here. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.